what I'm going to be talking about today, certain things you also want to talk about in that relationship is, okay, now before I even get into this thing, I want to say this again, that relationship time is a time for conversations. I wish somebody can write that down. Relationship is a time for conversations, not physical intimacy. Conversations. It is the conversations that will reveal a lot. Okay? But when you start indulging physically, it will blind you to the true signals you're supposed to pick, because your feelings will get so involved in your decision making many times. You would think, I really like this person. Oh, I'm in love. Can't you see we are so bonded? We are so mates. Oh, I will do anything. I will die for you. You say all manner of things. Your feelings have started confusing you. Do you understand? But when you are having conversations, it helps to reveal who people really are. So I tell people, the teaching is curtail that emotion, hold it, manage it for as much as you can until you have established that beyond reasonable doubt, I trust that this person, is the right person for me. It ticks the relevant, there's the important boxes, not just what your feelings want, but the boxes that are important to your destiny. Again, I say that many times when people are thinking about marriage, all they are looking at is their spouse. Oh, this guy is so cool. He's so rich. He has rich friends. They ride nice cars. When they show up, hey, my guys are here. We're painting the town red. Or you're looking at the girl. You say she has beautiful shape. Oh, her complexion. Oh, this, oh, that. You forget that marriage is way beyond just the two of you. You forget that with time, there will be changes. You forget that this guy has a lot of money, but may be lacking in character. Those are things you want to be asking yourself. Can I trust this man to raise my daughters? Can I trust this man to raise my sons? Can I trust this man to be a good model for my children? Do you understand? Those are other things you need to look at. Not just how two of you vibe. You say, when we come together, the chemistry. Which chemistry? Chemistry that will put you in trouble? Do you understand? Chemistry that would make your children to be homeless? Chemistry that will make your children to turn out irresponsible? Do you understand? So it's not just about you and him, or as the guy, you and her. You also want to see your future. Will she make a good mother? Do you understand? Will she raise your children well? When you guys are together, is she concerned about the future, or is she just concerned about what she can get off of you now? Buy this, give me this, pamper me, do this, let's flex, soft life, this one, pictures, the gram, social clout. Is that what she's interested in? There was a particular celebrity, everybody is a celebrity, in quotes, but there's a particular person whose husband left her because he said she lives her life for the gram. Everything she wants, fake life, gram, so you need to think, these are the things you need to observe in the course of the relationship, or even the asking out before it becomes a relationship, where you're still checking people out. And that is why at these stages, you guys have to discuss a lot. And like I said last week, there are many ways to start the conversations, and you can start with happenings, things that are in the news. Oh, what do you think? What's the latest? I think, I need to confirm this news, but I think Hilda Bassi's certificate has been given to her. I'm not so sure. I need to see what's not been online for a long time today. All right. Somebody can confirm if you've got the update online. You see, so you can start the conversation with anything. You can start with that. So can you marry a woman who does not want to work, who just wants to be a housewife and be cooking for you fresh meals every day? Can you can start it somehow. As the guy, you're saying, you, woman, ordered to make one meal for me, you're complaining. Can't you stand for 4 hours? Use something to start the conversation. Use politics, use sports, get into the conversation and begin to unravel all of those things that are really important to you, because you must discuss these things. It is conversations that will let you know whether or not that friendship should continue into relationship. It is conversations. I did a broadcast today and I said that a good conversation can save a life. I can't remember who said that quote. A good conversation can actually save a life. So you want to talk. Treat your relationship as though it's an important job selection you're employing for your company. You know, and it's really true. You're actually employing somebody for your personal company. All right. Not company as per PLC, but your company, your companion. All right. So it's a very important thing. So treat it like that. When it's a job, recruitment, you know, exercise going on, they advertise to as many as possible. People turn in the application in thousands. But what is important? The recruiter knows exactly who they are and what they are looking for. So it is very easy to turn down those applications that don't fit, you know, the spec of what the company needs. So when you understand who you are and you are very clear about what you need, okay, to achieve that goal, that vision of life with you, then it will be easy to have these conversations. And again, I always tell people, don't do relationship just for the sake of relationship. Let it be because you're considering the person for marriage, so that it is purposeful, so that from the beginning, everybody knows what we're looking for and everybody knows how to discuss, how to plan, do you understand? Everyone knows that, hey, this thing is possibly going to end in marriage. So let us see, are we good enough for marriage? Are we ready to do life with each other? It pains me when I hear couples, you know, after a couple of years, you know, they just tell themselves that, you know, we've grown out of love. There's no spark anymore. I think we should go separate ways. And you're wondering, hey guys, what did you even know about marriage before you got in? Do you think that in marriage it is the spark that will keep you going, like every day, spark, spark, spark? Has the matters of life not attended to you first or yet? Do you understand? There are times where you would have to be deliberate and cautious to stay in your marriage, to stay loving to your spouse. You understand? It's not because everything is just good and easy and rosy and everything just good and fine. No. The issues of life will come at you guys sometimes. The person who has a lot of money now can have a major challenge at work or at business and is down to nothing. That is why these conversations are important. If you marry that person for the money, by the time all the money is gone, what will happen to that marriage? It's gone too. If you marry that person for the clout, by the time there's a major scandal that deals with that person's reputation, what happens to the marriage? It's gone. You see, so that's why you have to pay attention to these conversations and have them. All right, I think I've said so much on this, but this point cannot be overemphasized. Okay, in fact, someone says that until people have gotten tired of hearing something, then they have just started hearing it. Okay, so we need to say it and say it again and say it again and again and again, so that somebody receives wisdom. Somebody will hear and incline their heart to understanding and say, it's true, this thing, let me think it through. Do you understand? That is why we do what we do. Okay, so let me please move on to some of the other questions. You know, I mean, these things are many. Before I go ahead, don't forget, I have my book, you know, Relationship Red Flags. It's my first book. Okay, there are several others in the pipeline. And before the end of this year, by God's grace, I don't want to tell you the number. I think I did before, but quite a lot of them will be published because they are already ready. They're just on schedule for publishing, you know. So that's the first book. It's available on my website, coachmacy.com. It's available. The link is also available on Seller, so you can get it on Seller. The link is on my bio on Instagram. I don't think that bio is on Facebook yet. I need to update that. All right. But yeah, I have a store on the link on my Facebook, so you can also check our products there. Okay, there are several other books that are available in e-formats. All right, so even this one, you can get the soft copy. There's also Maximizing Singleness is available in audio, in soft copy, and in print. You know, that's the idea, just to make information available as easy as possible. Anyway, back to the conversation for today. So what are the other conversations you guys want to have? You want to find out from this person, what are the things that can be a deal breaker for you in a relationship? What are the things that can be a deal breaker? You know, what are the things? You want to discuss it. And you know what the deal breaker is, of course. Okay, the things that are, if this thing does not change, I cannot go ahead with this relationship. If this does not improve, then count me out. What are those qualities? You want to talk about them. You want to know what those qualities are. What are the deal breaker for you? So, of course, when I talk with people, right, one of the things you would always hear is, I cannot take cheating. I cannot take cheating. If you cheat on me, that's the end. That's the end. And the person that is saying, I cannot take cheating, is a cheatist. He's a cheater. Yeah? But you cannot take cheating, but you should cheat. Yeah? So, see, when we talk about, what do you call it, deal breakers, right? You're not just looking for cliche answers. Somebody who has demonstrated unfaithfulness with you, especially if both of you are already struggling, Oh, sorry. If both of you are already physically intimate, he's not telling you that I cannot take cheating. Well, you people are already cheating from the beginning now. That thing that you are doing that because you're not yet married, you are cheating on each other. Do you understand? And then you're saying cheating is a deal breaker. No, if it were a deal breaker, then you would not even want to get into her pants. Okay, or you, the lady, you will not be asking, let me see how good he is. I want to check his stamina, compatibility. Because I guess at the year past, they talk sexual compatibility. You know, if you start like that, you're already cheating on yourself. So don't call cheating part of your deal breakers, because both of you will cheat on yourselves. You will cheat because you have trained yourselves to be indisciplined with your sexual control. I hope somebody understands what I'm saying. Okay, but my point is, anyway, identify what are those things that could destroy this relationship. Some people will even tell you that, I'm marrying you as a Selenge queen. Very slim, fine model. If you add weight, this marriage is over. Can you imagine? If you don't want her to add weight, you don't trouble her life. Don't do anything to her. Don't touch her. Don't indulge. Leave her. Because how do you expect her to go through all the nutrients and proteins you're giving her and to give birth to children and nurse children and her body will not change? Come on, there will be changes. So when people talk like that, it just tells you that this person is not ready for reality. There will be changes. Yes, I know there are women who have been able to work on themselves such that few months after they give birth, they're back to that banging body. You see them, they hit the gym, they're watching their meals, they're doing all of those things. What if your wife, the one you want to marry, cannot do it? Do you understand? So point is, when we're talking about deal breakers, your deal breakers should really center around your core values. Let me say that again. The things that should be deal breakers for you should center around your core values. Not just around cliche statements. If he hits me, I will leave him. Meanwhile, you have a very, very, very inciting tongue. Do you understand? You need to think about it carefully. What are your deal breakers? Let them revolve around your core values. So that you're telling the person that you see, for example, on matters of faith, I will not compromise it. I will always choose God over you. You are not the best and the first in my life. No, it's not you, it's God. Do you understand? So if two of you can agree, first of all, that, okay, yes, this is core values. Let's not drag, let's not contest it. And there will be peace. There will be peace. Do you understand? The day you come up and say that no more God in this house is the day that, this marriage will end, because I will leave you for God anytime. Do you understand? So things like that need to come up. Things that, like I said, revolve around core values. I can't go around all the examples right now for time's sake. But don't be doing things like appearance, attention. If you stop giving me attention. See, there are things that will happen to a man or in a man's life that what he actually wants from you is to give him space. Leave him first. And I'm not saying the kind of space that becomes detrimental to the relationship. I'm saying know how to allow him that time to think. You see, men actually refresh and, get strengthened many times in solitude. Women can do that from gisting with each other. Let me tell you what happened to me. Oh, hey, after talking, thank you for listening to me. Oh, I just feel better. It's not like that. Men want to go and sit down and think. Don't want to be alone. Don't want to be. That's why you see a man sitting down in the evening, just staring at the wind, doing nothing. A lot is going on in his head. He just needs that time. I don't know if somebody understands what I'm saying. All right. So don't pick things that shows that you don't even understand physical and emotional maturity. And if you don't know those, please go watch our session. We treated those last 2 months or last month. Excuse me, please. All right. Someone says, so beard should not be a deal breaker for ladies who like beards. Please, beards is not core values. Beards is not core values. Okay, let me prove to you. If beards is what you want to use to marry a man, will you marry a man who is very tall, dark, beautiful, bearded, or handsome and bearded, but is a kidnapper, but is a ritualist, but is a wife abuser, a woman beater? Will you marry him because he has beards? So beards are not core values. Beards are not core values. Don't try and explain it anyway to me. And if the man you see that you like very well does not have beards, go and buy all those beard oil now. Let him start applying it. Let him apply it 6 months. Maybe 6 months before you say yes, maybe the BS will come out. Then you now use the BS and say yes. Despite, so long as he has all the other qualities, do you understand? But just no beards. Like, go and artificially grow the beards if you must have beards. But my point is, please, let it not be about those little things. Let it be about core values. Somebody may not have beards today and have beards tomorrow. There are some people that up to their 20s and 30s, their jaw and their chin, you know, it's like, yeah, what do you call this place? It's like Cocoa bottle, very smooth. But before you know, at one point in life, you just see them, you don't recognize them again. Biabia are full everywhere. So that they don't have biabia now does not mean there shall not be biabia tomorrow. And for those who don't know what biabia is, that is the African way of saying beards. Alright? So, yeah, beards are not core values. So you want to find out what core values really are, what things, you know, and those core values are what should be your deal breakers. Alright? So, let me try and move on. Another thing you guys want to discuss is that don't deceive yourself that there will not be misunderstanding in your home. Don't deceive yourself. Oh. Somebody told me one time that her prayer is that the guy she's going to marry, that there will never be misunderstanding. I said, stop first. Stop. Wait. She said, yeah, that she makes you that there will never. I say, no, wait, let me help you. Stop. What do you mean by you should not have misunderstanding? She now said, that there will be no fight, there will be no this. I said, yes, there will be no fight. But you see misunderstanding. So long as there are two people talking to each other, there will be misunderstanding somewhere. Misunderstanding is not always a bad thing. You can say something and the way it sounded, you make the person to hear another thing. Do you understand? What are those kind of examples they use for, you know, punctuation? All the examples are jumping off my head. That's the thing with live broadcasts. Sometimes when you just need it, it's not there. Okay, but my point is, misunderstanding is bound to happen. And the name is what it is. An understanding that was missed. Something that was supposed to be understood that was not grasped. Okay? And maybe you said it like this, the person heard it like that. You know, so there will be misunderstanding. Don't get it wrong. What matters is how quickly you're able to convert misunderstanding back to understanding. What matters is how you're able to manage misunderstanding that it does not become conflict. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So I had to explain that to that young lady that no, don't put yourself, you know, on the place where, you know, you can't achieve that goal, because there will be times where there will be innocent and sincere misunderstanding between you two. There's a particular couple who shared how that, you know, the lady is very caring, very loving, always looking out for the husband. He too tries to do that in his own way. But what happened? One day she sent him to the mall to get something, and he went to the mall to get something. Typically, when she is going to the mall, she will call him and say, I'm going to the mall. Or, do you want anything? Can I pick up this for you? Can I pick up that for you? And they'll be like, oh yeah, help me pick this and that. And then one day he went to the mall and did not call her to ask her, do you need anything? And when the guy came back, she was heartbroken. She was angry. Our guy will be wondering, what did I do, honey? But I thought we've been talking since. Why didn't you call me to find out if I needed anything? And now I need to go back there and go and get this, that. The guy is wondering, is it that? I did not call you now. Like, I was thinking of other things. I just wanted to pick what I wanted to pick and leave the shop. I did not remember that. So you don't really care about me that much. If it's me, will I not call you? How many times have I called you to ask you? Why can't you return the courtesy to call me and find out? You know, and guys just wondering, is it that deep? Oh, you're sorry now. So, okay, what do you want? Let me go back. No, the fact that you missed it already, you have spoiled everything. Now, I'm letting you know how innocently there can be offenses or there can be misunderstanding innocently. Not because anybody is trying to be a bad person. Not because somebody is trying to be evil. Not because somebody is trying to hate on the other. Not because somebody is trying to just be troublesome. But innocently, there could be such misunderstandings. What matters is what mechanism do you both have in place to handle misunderstanding? What mechanism do you guys have in place to ensure that misunderstanding does not degenerate into conflicts? What mechanism do you have in place for reconciliation? What structure do you guys have in place to ensure that in this house, that quarrel where people will be exchanging words will never happen? That is possible. That one is possible. But that two of you will not make a mistake somewhere, and no, because you're two different people, two different upbringings, two different genders, two different experiences in life, two different ways of processing information. Do you understand? So yes, at some point, those are the things that fine-tune that relationship, where you guys have that misunderstanding, but you're able to constructively and positively, resolve the issue, and no one is hurt. Rather, both of you are reassured of your commitments and of your love to each other. So, to say that there should not be misunderstanding at all, no, you're deceiving yourself. There can be misunderstandings, okay, but let it not degenerate to quarrels and strife and conflict. You guys are not talking to each other, just like eating each other's food again. This one is now talking to bestie, living husband or living wife. No, don't do that. So let me give you some ideas of some of the things you guys can tell yourselves as structure for resolving conflict. You can tell yourselves that anytime we do something that anytime, for example, I do something that you're not cool with, please feel free to let me know, and I will not be defensive, and I will not take offense. All right. So there's an understanding between you two that anytime this one says, there's something I want to let you know, or can I just, there's something you did the other day that I didn't like, that you would not be defensive. You can be deliberate about that you would listen to understand what the person is saying, understand how and why it hurts them, and then before you would even say anything you want to say. But whatever you're going to say would not be defensive. You should first identify with that person's emotion before you explain what you want to say. That's an idea of how you guys can say, yes, that's what should happen. Anytime I hurt you, anytime you hurt me, let us let each other know. Let's not just get angry and not say anything and start stonewalling each other or something like that. You see, another thing you can tell yourselves is that, when there are quarrels or stuff, misunderstanding, we should not go to bed without saying a prayer together. So if every day you guys observe your night devotion or morning devotion, as the case may be, or both, and then because there's a quarrel, you're not talking to each other. No. Tell yourselves that every night, whether you are present or you are away, we must have our devotion physically or online. We must pray before we go to bed. Do you know what that will do for you? Because you are going to pray together, it gives you an opportunity to discuss. You see, another thing you guys can tell yourselves is that no matter the issue, we must sleep on the same bed. Not that one go and sleep in the parlor, the other one go to guest room. No matter what happens, we are sleeping on the same bed. We will face each other. Our body will touch, whether you like it or not. Yes. Those are structures you guys can put in place that will help you ensure that, you see this thing called quarrel, get what we take and they do. It does not have any benefit to us. Let's just fashion it. Do you understand? So there are different ways you guys can discuss and agree on how you're going to handle conflicts. All right. Are we going to be open to the services of a therapist or a counselor? Who is the counselor we're going to choose? Who are those that are going to be our mentors? If you misbehave, who should I report you to? If you're not hearing word again, who should I report you to? Do you understand? All of those are things that you guys need to discuss. And if you discover that one party is just not flowing with the conversation, that one just already believes I'm never wrong, it is you. Well, anything that there's a problem is going to be you. Then you're telling yourself, am I sure I want to do this relationship with this person that cannot even agree that one day he or she will make a mistake? Do you understand? So these conversations are revealing a lot. They are revealing a lot. Okay, now let me talk about another very important matter, because this happens a lot. You want to ask each other what your priorities are as per spouse versus family members. Let me say it again. You want to find out what your priorities are as per spouse versus family members. I have seen and heard people say, in fact, I think I want to talk about this in one of the sessions where I'll start addressing real issues. I've heard people say time and time again that the wife is not a member of the man's family. So his immediate family members have more say in the house than the wife he married. Then his children also even have more say than her. I don't know where that concept came from. It's one of the sickest and dumbest things in the world to exist. It's a terrible idea. What do you mean? You see? But you need to discuss it, because you don't be shocked that the man you want to marry believes that you, that his wife, you are property. Him and all his family, his other, because you are now the family. I don't even know what I'm saying, man. Like, him and his, immediate family, you know, what do you call them now? Parents and siblings, that family. If he's believing that they are more important than you, his wife, then you people will have problem. Because that's the kind of house where his younger sister will come and shout at you and talk to you anyhow. And tell you, go, my friend, go and sweep the house, or can't you give me food to eat? And he starts saying, after all, it's my husband's family. I can't do anything. Let me respect them. Then he comes home and you tell him, see what your younger sister did to me, see what your elder sister, see what your mother, see what your father did. And he say, can't you respect them? You have to respect them. I don't know where people get all those ideas from. It's so devilish. It's wrong. Your wife is the most important person in your life. Your husband is the most important person in your life. Not the children, not your parents, not your siblings. So you guys need to discuss that. Not the one that will tell you that whatever we are discussing, it depends. So if my mother says this, that's what we're going to do. Or you people have an agreement, and then she tells you, my elder brother said I should, and then she's going what her elder brother said. Or you guys have a conversation and telling you, my sister said I should. What is going on? Come on. You guys have to find out what is important. Who we have say in this house? Is it me? Or is it your mother? Let us know now. Are you going to be controlled by your parents and your siblings? Do you understand? You want to find out all of those things. And you will observe these in your conversations and in the process of your friendship, because you will see how they get involved in the decisions of this person's life. You're going to see it. You're going to observe it. Unless, of course, you are pursuing the body and you're not observing what you need to observe. So you guys need to discuss that. Whose priority here? Whose priority? All right. And I have said authoritatively that your spouse is supposed to be the most important person in your life before the children. Your parents are awesome, wonderful people. They've done a great job. They've brought you into the world. They've raised you up the best way they can. Great people. God bless them for the work they did. But at the point where you become an adult and you have to start your own life, God has placed responsibility on you to now create your own life. Your parents have lived theirs. They are not going to actively live your life for you. All right? They cannot use you to be correcting their mistakes. So you need to know where to cut that umbilical cord. And that's why scripture says that for this cause, a man will leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife. All right? So men who are still controlled by family members, by siblings and all of that, your siblings come and disrespect your wife, or your siblings come and disrespect your husband. No, all that is wrong. Okay, so you guys need to even discuss. Find out what this person thinks about that. You will just be shocked that one of them believed that, yes, you cannot, yes, when we get married, all my family members will come and be living in the house with us. And I'm wondering, hey, come on. Why? And they're telling you, how can you send my family members out of the house? I want you to come over, a new family. We need to, things just get complicated. So much for that. All right. So you guys want to discuss priority, me or them. And by the way, I'm not saying that you should go and be quarreling with your family members or with your in-laws. Because don't hear what I'm not saying. Do you understand? But you must understand priority. You must understand who you should take more seriously. You must understand who must increase and who must decrease in your order of importance. Okay, please, I'm not in any way supporting or saying that you should not have cordial and friendly relationship with your in-laws. That is not what I'm saying. Okay. Now, another very important conversation you guys want to have is matters of health. You want to know his basic or her basic health information. Don't forget the basic also. Genotype, blood group, is there what's your health history? Are there certain illnesses that run in the family? Do you understand? You guys want to discuss that. You want to know. You want to know what you're getting into. I intend to have a session with with medical professionals, who will advise on some of these things, because there are many things I see that happen. There are certain kinds of, I don't want to say things that, I want to stay in my authority area. But one thing I know is that there are certain kinds of bodies sometimes, or people that get married, that, so when you hear people having regular miscarriages sometimes, sometimes there are certain things that they need to observe medically to cure that thing. Right? I don't want to talk what I don't know, so let me stay in my space of relationship, right? But I'll get medical people on the live with me one of these days who will address this issue, deeply, of what health conversations you want to have. What should be of importance to you? You need to know. If there's a particular illness that runs in that family, how is that person working deliberately to stop it? You don't want to marry somebody and in 2 years you are a widow or a widower. You don't want to do that. So you want to ask, how are you addressing this issue? It happened to your great-great-grandfather. It happened to your grandfather. It happened to your father. How far are you now? It happened to your other brother. How far? Do you understand? What are you doing? How can we stop it? How can we tackle? If it's prayers, if it's revelation of God's word you need, if it's medical intervention, if it's all three, oh yeah, join it together and cure that thing before it deals with you. So you want to know your health information. Now, there are certain things about health that they say are confidential. Well, if you are going to marry somebody, please tell them everything they need to know. If they have told you before that as a man, you cannot shoot, or your shot is lifeless, you cannot impregnate a woman, what are you doing about it? Okay, a man who is impotent actually and deceives the woman or whatever she did not know until they were married, okay, that can be a grounds for dissolution of that marriage, of that wedding, because there was falsehood. You need to disclose things like that. If you're a lady who's done abortions or have had complications with your belly, with your system, with your reproductive system, you need to let him know. Not that somebody will go be praying and doing all that every day for children. Meanwhile, you have finished all your chances of having children naturally, except by miracle. Do you understand? So those are things you guys want to talk about. Maybe at some point in your past, you lived a kind of life that has certain effects on your health. One kidney is gone or one liver is going. You need to open up. But many times people say, for fear, if I tell them now, we lose this person. Don't go and wickedly bring that person into a life of pain and frustration. Of course, the genotype one is the basic one. You guys need to know and be sure that both of you are not sickle cell. You also need to be sure that both of you are not AS. If you're AS, it's advised to look for an AA, because if you're AS, the chances are that one of the children will be SS. And you don't want to bring somebody into the world and expose them to all of that pain and suffering, and even yourself, the family, it will impact on you guys terribly. So you guys want to discuss on all of that. Somebody asked the question, how do you address or treat a partner that has hot temper? I will talk about hot temper. But you see the thing about hot temper, you saw it before you got married. You saw it. Unless you refuse to observe and discuss properly, and you were doing things that you should not be doing. Okay? But if the person has hot temper, you should see it in the relationship. They will always display it. Even if they don't display it towards you, they'll display it towards other people. When they are driving on the road, if they live in Lagos and you know how drivers behave, and you will see that temper. You see? You will see the temper. You will see how they treat other people. You see how they talk to other people. You see how they respond when they are angry. You will see how that, they are easily triggered. You would see it. So if you have seen it beforehand, why did you decide to get married? How did you plan to handle it before you got married that you're now asking how to handle it now that you are married? I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So, but let's say somehow, no do, you have found yourself inside and this temper thing is just flaring. You want to find out what are his triggers or what are her triggers. Okay? And you want to, as much as possible, avoid those things. People have sat in my sessions and they're trying to resolve a fight, and Auntie knows that uncle can be very hot-tempered, but Auntie will tell you, me, I know myself. My mouth is very sharp. Before he says one, I'll give him 10. Then you're complaining that I don't want to say the kind of things that happen as a result. But you're complaining. Meanwhile, you're serving the triggers to him. No, you shouldn't do that. So one of the ways to handle that is to understand what those triggers are and do your best possible to avoid them or manage them properly, But most importantly, let that person go for therapy. Let them go and see a professional. There are people who are professional anger management experts, Let them go for therapy. You need to cure that bad behavior. If not, it will destroy that relationship and can even destroy the people. People have killed their spouses in anger. Yeah. So those are things that you need to address. You need to seek the services of a professional while you two are also learning ways that you can, manage that person so that you're not triggering them. And if they are already triggered, you know how to pacify them. All right. So that's very important. I hope you got that Monday. Okay. So, let me talk about the next point. I've spoken about health status and medical history. You guys need to be open. Okay. You need to find out. And let me tell you something. People behave as though this thing called love. Once you see somebody you want to marry, or you believe you want to marry, never lose that person. Hey, don't let him go. Hey, no matter what, hold him tight. As though your life will end if you miss that one. As though where that one came from, another one cannot come. Now I'm saying this because people see these things and they say, leave it. Somebody must see marry him. I've shared before how somebody said, hey, after all, he's not somebody that will marry an armed robber. I went ahead and married one human being and he showed her shaggy and she ran away. But I thought you were the one bragging that hey, somebody must marry somebody. Do you understand? So, point is, have these conversations. You guys may be vibing very well, but you see that the indications are saying for marriage, don't go down that lane because it shall not be well with both of you based on certain medical evidence, certain. If you have enough faith and you say we want to rugged it, we believe the Lord to intervene. Good and fine, but I hope the Lord has been intervening in other areas of your life before this one. I hope you have been faithing other areas of your life before this one. Or you just want to use this one now to tempt the Lord your God. Like I used to tell people, you don't know how to hear from God before marriage. Now that you're preparing for marriage, it's now you want to test your hearing ability of how God can lead you. So please don't put yourself under some kind of confusion and pressure and, you just set yourself up for problems. Don't do that. Seek proper guidance. Discuss your medical history or what your partner needs to know. All right. Now, the next thing you guys want to discuss, of course, how did I not talk about this all the while? You guys need to talk about what your sexual expectations are of each other. Now, I'm saying this assuming that this is a typical Christian relationship where you guys choose to honor the Lord and you're not exploring your bodies already. Okay? So, you guys need to discuss on what your concepts, your ideas about sex are. If one person has a really expressive expectation about sex and the other person believes that sex is unholy, and in fact, I've heard people say some nonsense about sex, that when a couple want to have sex, that the Holy Spirit will leave them. Holy Spirit will leave you. It cannot be all iniquity. If you go to the corridor or maybe to the bathroom and go and hide and go and wait, or if you go outside and go and be gisting with neighbors, I don't know. Then when you people finish, because it's a Holy Spirit, it cannot condone iniquity. I don't know where that nonsense religious idea came from. It is so wrong. It is so wrong. In fact, one of the deepest levels of worship you can experience in your life is that koinonia with your spouse. Oh, Shandai. Let me not preach too much on this one. There's time for everything. There is nothing unholy about sex among a couple. Nothing. It's absolutely fine and pleasurable in the sight of the Lord. He made it. That's the purpose he made it for. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? So you guys need to discuss. What are your orientations about sex? You need to talk about it. Is one person a PhD holder while the other one has not even enrolled for studies at all? You guys need to talk about it. Okay, you need to talk about it. If not, there'll be a lot of ways that you guys will be at variance with each other sexually. So you need to talk about it. How far? Do you have 200 body counts already? Or 3,000? Or 13? You need to discuss how far, what did you carry from that, your former relationship? What did you carry over from there? You guys need to discuss these things. It's not you deceive somebody into marriage and then when you guys get married eventually, you start seeing a lot of ugly things from the past. Because of one's sexual indiscipline as a single. So you want to discuss, what are your concepts about sex? Are you the type who believe that, once I marry like this, every day, morning, evening, morning, that's if you go to work. If you don't go to work, how about morning, afternoon, night? In fact, like 10 times a day. I heard somebody say that she and her boyfriend one day did 27 times. They play. Yeah? They what? They play. Well done. I'm coming to that. No, I'm not even coming to it. It's not part of my conversation. If that is what you are thinking, that, when I get married, this sex that they say we should not touch ourselves, we should not hold body. Well, finally, I collect license. Hey, you will hear from me every day, fire down. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Just make sure that before you're having that goal, you have sorted out everything about your life. You have no concerns. Oh, there shall be no rent to pay. Oh, you don't even need to cook. Oh, the meals are already served. Oh, everything is fine. You will not work again, because all you will do is wake up, chop, and collect. Better make sure your life is like that before you're having that kind of fantasy. If not, it is not real. It does not happen. As a matter of fact, studies have shown that more sex happens among singles than couples, even though that's not supposed to be. You will discover that when you get married, you will see your naked spouse in front of you, but you will not even move. That's when you know that there are issues in a man's life or in a woman's life. That sex is not everything. This sex that was doing all of you before you got married, though, you cannot stay. Hey, I wish I can hold you. I wish I can touch you. Oh, weather for two. Oh, come on over, baby. Come for a weekend. Your body was scratching you. Saying, now that you are married, you discover. You touch your wife one day, she'll tell you, hey, please don't disturb me. I have a headache. You touch your husband one day, he'll tell you, please, I'm preparing for that, my project. And you'll be wondering, really? But I thought, so you have shockers. Sex is not all that happens in marriage, if in case you don't know yet. It's not all that happens, so there's a lot of things there's what they call matters of life. Life. There's what they call life happening. It's not, please, there are many things I don't want to say right now. Things will change in the course of time. Things will change. New pressures will come. Do you understand? Childbirth can change a lot of things. Pregnancy can change a lot of things. All right? So if you just think that you are marrying for the sex, you will be disappointed. You'll be disappointed. Because at some point, the person you thought was going to be a sex machine for you will have other things on their plate. Will have other things to deal with. All right? So please, you guys need to discuss what your sexual expectations are. And of course, like I said earlier, in the sessions about premarital counseling, in counseling, you will be trained and told what to expect, how to control those expectations, what is right, what is wrong, how to even get into intercourse, especially if both of you have not experienced it before, because these are the things that get people frustrated. You just think that as a newbie, once you get there, fire down, then go hear what? When you want to start, you will see that this thing, I don't know how to do it. Somebody say you don't know where hole is to put it. Let me not talk. You will just discover that it's not what I thought of. Is it like that? Is that how I used to be? There are things that are running through this head that I'm just telling myself, Chimezi, this is not private discussion, this is live session. So coordinate your conversation. If not, there are things I wanted to say, but let me moderate it. All right. So basically, don't miss the point. You guys need to talk about your sexual expectations. Can you agree on what you people are going to be, what it's going to look like? Can you be in the same range, or is one person just thinking what does not even exist? What if the person you want to marry tells you that, oh, my preferred sexual fetish is, you know what a fetish is, right? I just want to be watching other people having sex and I get turned on. So let me invite my friend and his babe to the house. And you're wondering, to our bedroom? Those things happen. All right? I've heard cases where the man wants to have a threesome with his wife, or the woman wants to have a threesome, and the other person is wondering what's going on, or a foursome, or even, crazy things. What if that's the person's sexual orientation? By orientation, I mean not the way of, what they identify as. Do you understand? But what their mind, what they've been exposed to, the pervasive ideas that they've been exposed to. All right. What if what one person wants is BDSM? I want to tie you up. I want to strangle you. Or as a lady, for example, that's what your abusive boyfriend has been doing with you. Now you marry one gentleman that you met in church that does not still any work. You not tell him, strangle me, squeeze me. And guys, but why? I don't want to kill you. It's love. I love you. Well, why should I do that to you? You see, you guys need to discuss so I know whether you even believe the same things, whether you are even facing the same direction, or whether this thing will kill two of you. You need to discuss and agree. And in the case that you see something that is too scary for you, somebody say, if I don't beat you, I cannot make love to you. Really? I have to beat you first, then make love. What kind of nonsense is that? What kind of life of slavery and penury and debasement is that? Same way some people believe that until they quarrel, hot quarrel, that the sex will not be sweet. You see all of these things, you guys need to. A lot of wrong things have happened in society. The movies have not helped. People's upbringings have not helped. The songs have not helped. Social media have not helped either. Do you understand? So you need to discuss. And when you discover that this person has a lot of problem in his background, please save your life and save yourself and be praying for him from afar, be praying for her from afar. If you want to stay and let the Lord use you to change somebody's life, here up front, that you cannot change anybody. So if you want to try, I wish you good luck. But to see certain clear signs, I said I must stay, it go change. Marriage doesn't change nobody. All right? If they cannot change before people get married, I wish you well. Even some changes that happen before marriage, just for the marriage, it's even scam. Because once they get into the marriage, then the true colors or the really behavior that you thought had changed will come back in. Do you understand? So don't play with things that are important to you. That's why you must talk. And that's why I tell people that you have to trust God in your relationship process. Trust God to lead you. Don't follow your senses. It's not always the one that is making you have erection that is the right one for you. Do you understand? You have to let God lead you. Let God lead you. It's not only physical things. It's not only material things. Let God lead you. Let wisdom also guide you. Okay? So that you don't just run with your feelings, run with your opinions, run with your carnality, run with your pervasive ideas, run with all of the corruption that has, confused the world about love and marriage. You run with that, hit the rocks, and start shouting, love is a scam or marriage is a scam. Meanwhile, it was you who didn't do the right thing by seeking proper knowledge, by seeking proper learning, by being led, by seeking wisdom, and avoiding the wrong decisions. Okay? The next time you hear people say marriage is scam, you are looking at somebody who has not heeded wisdom and has hit the rocks. That does not have to be your own experience. All right? Marriage is beautiful. Like I keep telling people, a blissful marriage is possible and you deserve it. I need to close. Let me take which one? Which one should I take? How many minutes do I have? Okay. So you may want to ask, you want to ask each other, what are the top 5 things, maybe top 3, top 2 things that matter to you in life? Excuse me, I beg your pardon. What are the top 3 things that matter to you in your relationship? You just want to know. What kind of things do you expect from your spouse? How would you want to be treated? How would you want to be loved? Because you see, there's another challenge there. There are people who are loving their spouses the way they want to be loved, and that is not the way their spouse, wants to receive love. So you need to learn what works for them. You need to learn what is ideal for them, what is okay, not just what you want or how you want it, but what works for them. And you know why this is important? Because if you cannot learn and understand your partner's love language, many times you will think that they don't love you. Meanwhile, they are working so hard to love you. Oh, I have heard time and time again, he doesn't love me. And the man say, how dare you say that? And he's provoked, he's angry. I cannot believe it. Does this woman want to see my blood? Does she want to kill me first because I married her? Why can you say I don't love you? After all I did for you, after all I do, I go out every morning because of you. I make sure there's food in this house. I pay the rent. I built us a beautiful house. And she's wondering, what are all those things you're talking about? Did I marry house? Did I marry your wallet? Did I marry the car? It's you that I married. I don't see you. I see money. I don't see you. Is it money I will gist with? Is it money that is my companion? Is it money that is my husband? Is it money I will tell about the emotional things going on in my life? Where are you? You're pushing money up and down. You don't love me. And the guy saying, no, it's because I love you. I'm doing all of those things. You see? So both of them need to even know what exactly love means to them, so that they can express love in the way it matters the most to them. So this happens a lot in marriages. They are trying hard, but they're trying the wrong ways. You are disappointed he's not receiving it the way you expected him to receive it, because if it were you, you would have received it like that. She's a very private person. She doesn't want you posting her, all over social media and stuff like that. But you're sanguine. You're all over the place. You're life of the party. You want to, and then because you like that, you go ahead and start posting her everywhere, and she's offended. Why is my picture all over the place? Can you take it down? And you're wondering, how can you say I should take it down? It's not because I love you, I'm proud of you. But please, I don't want all this attention. Can you just not tag me? Do what you're doing. Don't tag me. But, and then you go and put a hand to there. People start going there and all manner of harassment starts coming her way. Why did you do that? Because you want to love her the way you want to be loved. Do you understand? And then you, the other one who is the private person, and he is or she is the public person. The fact that you're private and they are public, when it's their day, you have to put them everywhere, talk about them, because that's what matters to them. Don't say, but I'm a private person, I cannot post you. No, if he wants to be posted or she wants to be, then you post it and post. Let them be happy. Yeah. So, you learn to love your spouse on their own terms, not on your own terms. You need to learn to love them on their own terms. You need to learn the intentionality of love. All right? Let me just end with this. This one will make some people laugh. One of the things you people may want to discuss is your political affiliations. Yes. Because we saw things that happened in Nigeria in the last presidential and gubernatorial elections. You want to know what your affiliations are, and be sure that those affiliations are reflective of your true values. And this is very important, because these elections revealed a lot. These past elections in Nigeria revealed a lot. It revealed how that people really don't have the values they tell you that they have. It reveals that there are people who tell you corruption is bad until it is their person who is in power, or is their person who is in office, or until they are benefiting directly from corruption, then it is just good and it is God sent. Do you understand? So you want to find out sometimes, what is this person's political affiliation? What's his political idea? What's his political, orientation and ideology? Who are the people that are his heroes? Who are her heroes? It will reveal a lot of what a person's true values are. The same way that money can reveal a lot about people. Political affiliation, you guys want to find out. I just don't want to call names and say some kind of things on this live session. But if you're in Nigeria and one is supporting this one and the other is supporting the other one, the marriage should just, I don't know how two of you stay in the same house, because it's going to be problem. It's going to be problem upon problem. So you guys want to discuss that? Yeah, because a lot is revealed by the things that people are passionate about. Let me say that again. A lot is revealed about a person's personality by the things they are passionate about. So by the time you see how this person, furiously defends his candidate, and you're saying, but is it not your candidate that is not a good somebody? How has he become good now because you like him? Do you understand? That can tell you a lot about where this person's values really stand. They tell you corruption is bad, but as soon as a family member gets into that office, corruption is just okay. In fact, there's nothing like corruption. What are you talking about? Because you are benefiting from it. So when you see those kind of body language, it tells you that this person is not who they say they are in this particular area. And it's just a matter of time. It will show in other larger areas of life. Okay, so let me stop with that. And I think that will be enough for today. Next week, we're going to take questions and answers. So it's also going to be really tough and hot. Invite people, tell them, let them come. It's going to be really beautiful. I hope you've had a good time. I hope you've really enjoyed yourself and learned a lot. Please do us a favor. Help put out word about what we do. Make a post about Love Coach Maisie. We have a lot of our shorts on Instagram. Please download them, reshare, repost. Let more people in your space, get access to the same wisdom and values that we share on this platform. All right. God bless you. Thank you for your time. Don't forget to get my book. We have the soft copies, Relationship Red Flag. Okay. We have it online. We have the physical copies, whichever one you want. Please feel free to get it. You can see it on my website, coachmaisie.com. And you can also see it on all other platforms where I am. God bless you. Follow us here on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok. Follow me. Okay. Coach Maisie. Some of the other handles are not, like Single and Ready is not active yet on Twitter and not on TikTok yet, but Coach Maisie is on all of these places and I'm trying to be active. So God bless you guys. Someone says thanks for today. Today was great. God bless you, my brother. Thank you, Monday. All right. God bless you guys. Thank you. Signing out now. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the night.